Good evening. Welcome to Tropical Chatter, your go-to source for online information regarding the 2017 hurricane season. Let's jump right into this as we have Tropical Storm Cindy approaching landfall along the Texas and Louisiana border. The center of circulation is in this area right here. We have multiple vortices, which is pretty neat. We got one under these cloud tops here, another one spinning there, and another one down here spinning. They're all going around the main area of low pressure, which is this bullseye right here in the center with the X in it. Over the next 8 to 12 hours, we expect this area to make landfall. These strong storms to the northwest, they are producing very heavy rain. This area here can expect another 4 to 6 inches plus possibly. As the storm continues northwest tonight, possibly just due north, it will make landfall. These areas over here in the in the Florida Panhandle, Mississippi, and Alabama area, they're going to continue to get raked by these training storms. This feeder band will not give up. Expect this band to last another long period of time, dropping more rain, another 4 to 6 inches plus as possible. As this system pulls north and eventually northeast, there's going to be another band forming in this area here. And that will continue right inland, dropping another 2 to 4, possibly 6 inches of rain in areas. We're going to pull that up. But first, let's get to the National Hurricane Center's official track. This just was released at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Louisiana time. As of 7 p.m. their time, maximum sustained winds are still at 50 miles per hour. The storm is moving northwest at 8 miles an hour. It's not moving all that fast. You can see this area highlighted in orange. That is where the tropical storm winds extend out at. Highlighted in blue here along the coast, I'm going to highlight it in red. Still has tropical storm warnings into effect. This area, as you get into the squalls, you're still going to get tropical storm force winds. It might not be sustained at all times, but you're going to feel them once you get in those heavy squalls. Even in these feeder bands, over here in the Florida Panhandle, Alabama area, you're going to get tropical storm force gusts also when you're in the squall lines. And these squall lines will persist over the next, long duration. Let's clear this. Let's get back to over here. Give me 1 second. Here is the WPC rainfall forecast. These yellow areas here, they're still predicting an additional, as of 7 p.m., 4 to 6 inches of rain. And again, in the Texas and Louisiana border, another 4 to 6 inches worth of rain. You see this dry cap here? You're going to see that on the animated radar coming up soon. This area is going to kind of be caught in between the feeder bands and the main area of low pressure. And that's going to be drying out. New Orleans, central Louisiana, it's going to be drying out, relatively soon for you guys, which is a good thing. Up here in Tennessee, you're going to get 4 to 6 inches of rain as the storm comes up in this general direction. Something to keep an eye on. The flooding potential there is pretty high. Let's jump back to, this is the hurricane hunters. They were out earlier this afternoon. They're actually back out there right now. As you can see, they caught a couple 995 millibars, 996, generally 995 to 996. Which is not bad for a June storm. Let's clear that out of here. It's actually pretty good for a June storm. 995, 996. I'm going to go to the radar right now. Alright, these are the feeder bands I was talking about. These bands are dropping heavy rains. Florida Panhandle, Mobile, Gulfport's kind of in a lull right now, but you're going to get back into it later most likely. And right about here is the center of circulation. Like I said, there's multiple vortices in here, one down here, one over here, all spinning around the main area of low pressure, which is right, give or take about here. So those high cloud tops that you saw on the satellite image, that is this band of heavy rain here. That's what the WPC is predicting to drop another 4 to 6 inches of rain along the Texas and Louisiana coastlines. This whole area right here, 4 to 6 more inches of rain. Let me clear that out. It's getting a little sloppy. So as the center of circulation tonight moves in this general area, all this rain is going to continue to shift up the coast, inland, and eventually out in that direction there. I wanted to show you the animated forecast radar. We can get to that in 1 second here. This is from weatherbell.com. As you can see, when this starts off, I'll wait for it to get back to the beginning here. You have the center of circulation right about down here. And this is the bands of heavy rain. Look at them just stay over the same spots for a while. And these feeder bands, which I talked about, look at that. They just redevelop and pound the same areas. Gulfport, you're going to be in the new one that develops here. That dry slot we talked about that WPC has pretty much no rain for is right in between feeder bands here. There's going to be one developing on the eastern side of the system. You can see that develop there. And as this gets inland, it's going to spin over the top of the system, which is, you know, normal for hurricane in this area of the world. They, you know, spin counterclockwise. But these feeder bands over Florida, they're just going to continue to ride up in the, you know, Alabama and Mississippi. And another one, they're just going to keep developing all night long into the morning tomorrow, into the afternoon tomorrow possibly. Want to show you one last thing. I talked about storm surge in the past couple of videos, 1 to 3 feet. Well, not only was that my thoughts, that was also the thoughts of the National Hurricane Center. Now, I want to show you this tweet from Michael Lowry. In Lake, I don't know how to say that word, but somewhere down there in Louisiana, 6-foot storm surge. That is quite impressive. A 6-foot storm surge. So you can see a normal tide is this blue line here. Storm surge is way up here. 6-foot storm surge. So the total tide, 6 feet above normal. That is quite impressive for 250 miles away from the center of a tropical storm. We're not talking about a hurricane. A tropical storm producing a 6-foot storm surge. Now, how's that possible? It's a good question. If we get back to the satellite, you have a long fetch. I talked about this in the previous videos also. These long fetch just pounding wind and water right into these, you know, lakes and all that down there. And it must have been at the perfect angle to build up a 6-foot storm surge because the winds aren't all that strong, you know, 50, 60 mile an hour gusts. But very long duration coming from the exact same angle at the perfect angle for that area to get a 6-foot storm surge. It's quite impressive for a tropical storm. So that's about it tonight. Tropical Storm City will be making landfall overnight in this general area around here. Expect 4 to 6 more inches of rain in this highlighted area here. And another 2 to 4 inches here. Be safe, guys.